Started off planning for retirement more than a year ago by thinking about what I wanted retirement to include, which I'll describe in the first part of this video. These things and the preparations are made are personal to me, and you would most likely think other things matter more. I agree that would be true for everybody other than me. In the second half of the video, I'll look at the more general issues that any new pensioner will face. I only really considered these rather more recently. It was after I'd resigned and was working my notice period, and it was too late to change my mind. The list of things I was thinking I might want to include in my retirement are going to pop up now. There's no guarantee I'll do any of them, but I made sure I had what I needed if I decided to do them. I got a flight simulator on my laptop along with a HOTAS controller. Didn't get a VR headset because they need interfaces that none of my computers have got. And they are expensive, £300, why would I do that if I'm not sure I can get it to work? What I've discovered is that I'm the world's best air accident creator. I've crashed over and over, and what's worse is that the software replays every bloody crash back at me. What can I say? Fishing is a little bit different. I did a lot of this as a teenager, but I've never caught any fish in the last 14 years. But there is a lake and a canal across the road. So I've joined the local angling club and I've got a rod permit, and I've bought a basic minimum amount of kit, and I've been out and plumbed the depth at the spot I like the look of. I already have a beach rod, and about 5-minute drive from where I live there's a channel that runs along my side of the River Mersey, which has good reports for sea fishing. So I'm all good with trying that out as well. I don't need to worry about camping. I've got everything I need and then some. It's just a case of getting out there and doing it, isn't it? Motorcycling is never going to go away, is it? And I was already well equipped to just get on with it anyway. I do need new clothing, and I've started with boots and a jacket. I'll need a new pair of trousers and a quieter crash helmet. I haven't decided which helmet yet, but the Schuberth C5 looks good. I haven't decided on trousers either, but the last time I was in J&S, we had trousers with built-in braces, so I'll be looking for something like that. And if you know me, you know I'm not short of cameras at all. Might be short on editing skills, but not cameras. Now, I used to have over 1,000 books on my shelves, and I was running out of space. So I threw all the fiction stuff away. Now I only have 600 or 700 left. I'd already bought the main book I was saving for retirement, but I found a series of lectures by an American professor on YouTube, and I bought the book that he recommended as the translation he'd be using in his lectures. The book I'd already bought was a well-respected translation, as it happens, but the American professor refers to markers in the text of his recommended translation, and I need to be able to follow the lectures closely to get the best from them. They really do help, as it happens. Up to now I found the book easier to read than I thought, which probably means I don't understand it. If I do go for fiction these days, I go for something like science fiction, and I get that on the Kindle. In terms of articles, a book might take me a long time to read, like Sartre's Being and Nothingness, which took me a whole year to read and not understand. Articles are a lot quicker, from an hour or two to a day or two. The last one I downloaded was a BBC assessment of Trump's war with Iran, and the day before that I downloaded an explanation why petrol prices go up quicker than they come down. If you want the truth, I look forward to the shorter path to not understanding, frankly. That's right over the Cheshire Plains. It's lovely, isn't it? That's the woodland over the back of the bike. And a close-up on the bike. In this second part of the video, aside from the specific things I identified earlier, there are a lot of other, more general things to consider that probably affect every new retiree. I got 2 articles from Global English Editing to get some idea of what I might face once I finally stopped working. Both had a number of points that they wanted to make, and I've distilled them down to 10 aspects, which I'll put up now. The first thing is time, which seemingly won't manage itself. One of the writers explained that his first week vanished with hardly anything to show for it, so he adopted what he calls a 3x3 pattern. The first 3 things were move his body, make something, and see someone. The second 3 stands for 3 small tasks that take less than 30 minutes. I tried this, and I've only kept 2 things, albeit in a modified form. I found I already move a lot. Cooking, gardening, cleaning, all count. I use the sports watch to confirm I mostly get enough exercise. I top it up with a brisk walk around the local lake most days. Generally don't make things, but there's plenty to fix, so I fix 1 thing a day. Doing anything more than that takes up too much of my day, and it does it really about things that maybe I don't care about that much. As for losing my identity, never really understood what identity was. I was on a training course once and the subject came up, and I was at a loss and settled for describing how I spend my time. Apparently, that's my identity. Frankly, the only identity I acknowledge is what's on my passport and driving licence. It means not working doesn't feel like a loss. It's more like another life phase that just needs to be embraced and savoured. I haven't felt that being at home with my wife all day and night has caused me any angst. I came up with a morning schedule that keeps me out of the way of her schedule, and then we spend the rest of the day together. I find it more restful being here to look after her when she needs me. As it happens, I haven't asked her how she feels about having me around so much. But what I do know is that she was sometimes rather more enthusiastic about me retiring than I was. I have had to take some specific steps about health. I bought a continuous glucose monitor and got my glucose under control. These devices are a godsend, frankly, and if you can afford them, I'd recommend getting and using them. I also lost weight, and I got walking fast enough to get a high heart rate. And these things taken together mean that I no longer get offered medication, at least for the time being. This puddle, not sure how deep it is, but I seem to remember coming along here before. There's nothing about this that I need to worry about, so I'm just going to ride straight through it. Loneliness is a weird thing. You can be lonely in a crowd and not lonely when you're by yourself. And I appreciate the circle of friends I have, the one that spans entire decades for one individual, a second that's developed over the last decade or so through YouTube and Facebook, and a third one through people I met at work. I was lucky enough to work with good people with a wicked sense of fun, and if what I've read is true, I'll lose contact with them over the next few months. If it happens, it'll be a shame, and I'll miss them. These things taken together mean, for now at least, loneliness isn't something that causes me any angst. Losing purpose in life? Well, the thing is, I thought of work as something I did to pay for the life I wanted. If I liked what I was doing as well, that would be awesome. And for at least the last 2 decades, I was lucky enough to have been doing a job that I liked. But knowing I could live well without working meant that working no longer had a purpose. That has helped me a lot. The other thing that helped was that I've worked from home since COVID, so I had very little in-person contact with my work colleagues, and the break was less sharp because of that. I do have clutter, loads of stuff. A lot of tents, a lot of cameras, those things being high up on the list of what I've got a lot of. And it did cause me some angst when I threw half a dozen old, non-working action cameras away. But a good solid declutter is going to have to be a must at some point, I reckon. The old calendar thing. I often forget what day it is. to such an extent that I had to hang a calendar on the wall and draw a big black cross through each day as it came to an end. I often forgot to do that. It's got to be said though, there's a real joy to waking up and just choosing what to do on the spur of the moment. These horses are a bit ippity. But, let's see, yeah, they're holding them back quite well. That's fine, I'll just tootle on by. No revving. I do also find overcommitting is hard to define. I do go out for dinner with the wife more than I used to, and I take her shopping willingly more often than I used to when I did it grudgingly, and I do commit to home improvements, and of course inwardly committing to a routine, fixing something, learning something new each day and so on, all pile up if I'm not careful, so I'm careful. I have a friendship group that's lasted for decades, and it's hard to keep meeting in person, but I'm trialling meeting them all at the same time. Don't know how that will ultimately pan out. And I have friends from around the country through a shared interest in motorcycling. They're all thoroughly decent people, and I'm going to be making efforts to keep meeting up with them, but I'm also uncertain how that's going to work. All in all, I'm enjoying each day as it comes. I'm mostly getting pleasantly through each day, with mostly a very low stress and relaxing way. I haven't got rose-tinted spectacles though. I know that ill health is a certainty. I'm not exactly surrounded by people who have suddenly been hit by serious life-threatening illnesses, but I've seen enough of what comes with age to know I'm not immune, and the next decade will not be as healthy as the last. But for now, things look satisfyingly good.